So CERN is that hit to stop or to take that wrench out of that matrix wheel. Because ever since 2012, when Earth's timeline activated, what happened? That the things sort of switched, and I've said that astral timeline have been in reaction mode ever since, trying to figure out how to stop it. So they need to stop this first before they can activate. So they need to, I mean, this is all part of this September plan, you know, that is planned to stop the flow of Earth timeline. And I've said it to somebody the other day that if they succeed, we most likely will actually have Earth stop spinning. And this is when in 2012, I think, this is when people were saying that, you know, the ascension will come with the 3 days of darkness. This is what they meant, is because they need to sort of get the wheel, the wrench out of that wheel so it can get going again. So we need to understand that self-healing takes a lot, and it is so multi-layered. And if anything, during this time right now, what we need to do is work on that self-healing. Let all the storm just be there, because this is, you know, they're creating shitstorm. They need to do certain things. It's a survival thing. So self-healing through all the layers, personal, and taking self-responsibility for our personal matrix system, because we ourselves do the victim and victimizer game on a daily basis within our own self. Our mind does it. Oh, it's your fault. Oh, it's this, or it's that, or we can't, we have only got time right now to self-heal, because the collective healing part and the layers of it are so huge. I mean, let's talk about, I mean, every layer of our reality will have this victim-victimizer, okay? We're going to have it on, you know, on the you know, oh, it's white, black, you know, white and black people. Here's that, you know, it's part of the matrix system. Oh, it's your fault, you did that. And so this groups are playing the role because they're stuck in this game of this enclosed reality. And so all they can do is just switch places. And so, you know, there is a time probably when things were switched. Just look at in our history, we can see that, you know, when the roles are switched. We can see that, let's say, with what happened in Germany. And, you know, what happened there? The victims were the Jews, and the victimizer was the Nazis. And then, so what happened? Everything flipped. And now what, and we're experiencing right now that Jewish, not all Jewish people, but a selected group, just like it was with Nazis. It wasn't whole German people. It was just a specific group within that country. Same thing with Israel right now. There is a specific group that is playing the victimizer role now, because they used to be a victim of that. Now they're the victimizer. I mean, this goes from one layer to the next, and it keeps on going with every layer. And to heal all that, we got to go through each and every one of those layers and heal all of it. The thing is, right now, what we see with this AI meme is that we can see this is a much bigger level, sort of layer. It's a lot, because we're talking about, uh, you know, a reality that was brought here from somewhere else. So I want to go in. I know it's probably going to be a little too much for some, uh, but eventually we'll get to that level of healing. Um, but let's take the Dracos and the Anunnakis. They also have their victim-victimizer game that they do play. And the Dracos have been been playing a victim role for a long time, because they were originally invaded by this inorganic consciousness, and they've been victims ever since. And a few months back, even here on the planet, those that are connected to Dracos, um, I had called them out and said, you don't have to play the victim-victimizer game anymore. You don't have to be in the matrix system. You can heal right here on this planet. And I made a video with the message for Simon Perks, because he's a big sort of a Draco collective representative here. Um, but they're still, I guess, playing the victim. And so this consciousness is the victimizer. And so very clearly, from the information of people about the AI, when they come up and say, well, Dracos created AI. Well, they created AI, but they're not actually, the AI you talk about is the outer layer. But the inner layer is what created the outer layer. So, I mean, and this is obviously then is a blame game, because this inorganic consciousness is trying to protect itself and pointing finger at Dracos, because Dracos did this and did that and did that. That was the Orion experiment. This is what happened to, well, this is how Dracos was created, is through this infiltration of this inorganic consciousness. And there is even bigger layer to that, because this inorganic consciousness have created a lot of chaos in so many different places throughout our universe. But for right now, what we're faced with right now is we watching on a multi-layer level this attempt of this consciousness to switch the guard, to switch to the positive timeline. And for them to be able to do that, they need to take the Earth timeline out. And so this is why the Earthlings programs are running really rampant right now. It's sort of like a final trick. We have to remember as Earthlings that the more we do self-healing, the more we stick that wrench into every layer of that wheel that is our personal matrix. the bigger our personal wrench gets, the stronger it gets. And so when it is time for collective healing, we're going to have a big wrench in our hands. And that will give us confidence that we can heal collective levels as well. Because we're going to go through so many layers of collective healing. And we need to be as strong as possible within our own self. Meaning we got to be on Earth's timeline. We gotta be one with her. And not just through words. To be with her. Because Earth is very gentle with her timeline. She won't force anybody into choosing her. The astral timeline, they'll force themselves. That energy will be forceful. Earth timeline, nothing forceful about it. It's so subtle. So in and in and in. Feel it. Let's feel everything. Let's feel this timeline within us. And I've said a little bit about that, sort of how it is. It is our old DNA, the ancient DNA. Okay? So tuning into that, and what it does, the more we heal through this layer, it breaks this holographic or this overlay DNA, overlay over our DNA that is from here. So this is why we are talking about that the ancient DNA is awakening within us. This is the true awakening within a human being, is that when your ancient DNA is active and a breaking through from within, breaking or shattering this overlay reality DNA that was overlaid over our DNA. So this is why when we are connected to Earth's timeline, it's not that she gives us information. We're pulling it from that which was already within us. And all of the record is still withheld within this sort of field, that organic field that was always here on the planet. It was just not obvious, but it was here, waiting for the time when we can free ourselves. But there's also not just freeing. We have to, this inorganic consciousness that is here, we have to stop this sort of virus from spreading and getting this whole universe infected. So I know it sounds like it's a huge responsibility for us. We're little nobodies here. But we have to trust this planet because she's taking this healing on. And we can either stand with her, which, I mean, when you start feeling your ancient DNA sort of being active, you will feel how powerful it is and how much knowledge there is there. So, and it's just the beginning. There's more memory that will come back. And we are very much capable of healing whole collective of humanity on this planet. So I just wanted to go a little bit into that today, because all this sort of programs are, you know, right now are flaring up. It's like literally They're sort of flaring up. When you watch it, it's almost mesmerizing to see how some of these people just spit out these programs with such an enthusiasm, and it's like, wow. And, I mean, I guess this is our show. This is our show. I mean, why do you need TV when you can watch all these new programs that are literally coming out of people's mouths? So we're living in an interesting time, but it is also very humbling for me to start to regain some of the original Earth Timeline memories, and um, it's incredible. It's almost unbelievable. The mind's having a little bit of a hard time still with it, but the feel of it is incredible. So I thank you guys for watching. I had to sort of um, make two parts to it, but I really appreciate everybody that's having the patience to um, listen to me, because I talk a little slow, um, and for understanding and for being um, honest and open, especially in the Earth Soul group, sharing ourselves, our own journey, self-healing journey. Um, this is why I started to talk about this, is because this is my personal healing journey. And once I heal all that, then I will become whole and original. And for so long being here on this planet, not having this, I really, really wanted to go back to the original intent. So for those of you that understand my desire to share this with others, it is because I know there is so many of us that we need to remember who we are in our original intent. So I thank you all for remembering. So I'll talk to you all soon.